Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Holzer map. So today is Friday for you, it's Thursday for me. I don't normally do videos on Friday, but I had to do this one. I really had to, and I'll tell you why. Let's get started, and I'll tell you why. Now, I can tell you that we're starting in the dark. We don't do this too often, and let's see how the light goes. You know, it's tricky, different kinds of monitors, different kinds of setups. Sometimes things that look good one way look too dark another way. Sometimes things that look too dark look fine another way. So we'll see. We'll see. So first thing is, and I could even do this. So first thing is, last episode we had one of these equipment sheds right here. We had this turned 90 degrees and we had it placed right here where the shop is now. And I was going to leave it there. I was reluctant to sell it, delete it, because I didn't know what was going to be left over. But I saved my game, I backed it up multiple places, and then I went ahead and sold it. And it just left concrete under it, which I was able to take care of with the terrain paint tool. So what I did was I got Place Anywhere, and I put one shed on this side of the yard. I put another shed on this side of the yard. In fact, these both have lights in them. So why don't we, let's explore a little bit. Expand our horizons. Yeah. Fantastic. So I think that looks better with one at each side of the yard. I felt like we didn't have the best use of space when we just had the single one here and then we had all this empty space on the sides. It just really wasn't working for me. It really wasn't. So I can tell you the terrain tool in the 1.3 patch, it is improved. It's not perfect. In fact, when I placed this one, the terrain went all crazy and it like bubbled it up under here. It was all crazy, and I had to come in with the sculpting tool and like force it all back down. And fortunately, these textures that you see here all stayed in place, so the terrain sort of came up around them. I don't understand exactly how that works. I think it's because this is one big placed item with a texture, if that makes sense. So it's better. It's better in 1.3, and I like this setup better. Now, why are we recording a Friday video? Well, I'll tell you, it's this. It's things like this. I've been working on this map. I've been playing this map because I really, really love it. And it got to the point where I either needed to stop playing until Monday, right? Which I did not want to do. Stop playing until I recorded on Monday to post on Tuesday, or continue playing over the weekend. And by the time we got to recording on Monday, there would be so many changes on the map and so many things would be different that it would be almost like starting over. You know, I'd be sort of, you know, it didn't really seem fair to you. So I can tell you, we're going to head down there in a minute, but I can tell you I bought another farm. I just farmed grass down here, sold it for silage over and over and over, and made enough money to buy another farm and a couple of tractors. And once we had the other farm, actually our rate of income doubled to about 200,000 euro per harvest, and after that it was a piece of cake. So I don't think it'll be a problem to make money on this map. Now, I did get this Deutz-Fahr. This is the clear view. It's a drop nose. It's one of the finalists for ugliest tractor ever. I kid. It's not that bad. It's different. It's definitely different. But you know what? Different is okay sometimes. Now, when I bought this, I did select the Allo console for front loader, which uses, in fact, let me stop and set the brake right here and I'll show you. So this is the Allo front loader. Slightly different, and it does have a terminal for dynamic hose. This is the Stoll terminal. Wrong side. This is the Stoll terminal. Yeah, you can see it. And that also has the terminal for dynamic hose. And then I had to track down the front loaders themselves, right, that have the connections and have the dynamic hose installed. I did find everything. I found them all on Forbidden Mods. I've been spending a lot of time on Forbidden Mods. You know, I would not categorize them as a dodgy mod site. I don't know how you feel about them. It's not the Giants mod hub, you know, but there's a lot of good stuff there. So this is a Trima, I want to say, Trima front loader, and we're going to drop our pallet forks. Brought the pallet forks down because we have been moving wool away from the spawn point where the sheep are making it. And if you did not guess, we're actually going to feed our sheep right now before we take off because they got hungry overnight. We have 100 of them now, and they have been eating. However, However, it is a lot easier to fill the trough. It says in the notes for this map that the map maker adjusted things in the XML, and the troughs fill up more easily now, which I agree with. Particularly for dairy cows, the idea that you would need to put like hundreds of thousands of liters of food in there never really made sense to me. I didn't, you know, kind of pulled me out of the immersion. But they seem to have fixed it, or at least this map maker seems to have fixed it. And there goes my voice. How far did we make it? 5 minutes? Yeah. So there are several other things that I'll tell you about on the way down to our farm that we bought, and I'll show you on the map before we head down. I'll show you which farm it was that we bought, but I want to tell you some other things as we're on our way down there, because this map fascinates me, and I've got about 20 hours into it. Yeah, about 20 hours. And I'm comfortable saying that this is probably on my top 10 list for maps for the entire Farm Simulator franchise. It's that good. For me, it is. I really, really like it, and like I said, as we're heading over to the other farm, I will tell you some of the things that I really like about it, some of the things that really, really work well for me. Let's tilt this up a little bit. Bale physics in 1.3 they seem a little better, but they are certainly, whoa, light in the front. Light in the front. Could have thrown a weight on the back. They are improved, I have to say, but they are by no means perfect. I saw Reddit, I want to say, and somebody mentioned the physics in Farm Simulator 19, and then of course somebody replied or somebody responded, and they were like, wait, Farm Simulator has physics? So yeah, it's you know, it is what it is. It's our farm sim. It is what it is. I was really rooting for them cattle and crops folks, and that's a shame. Maybe they will surprise me. Maybe they will surprise me. Let's see how we're doing on food. We go here, and here. Better for food, and we're okay on water. So let's head down the highway, because we have a lot to do at our other farm. Now, something else, and I wanted to ask you about this. This is a serious question. I tend to stay in what I call drone cam quite a bit. I don't do a lot of first person. In racing sims, iRacing, any other racing sim, I am exclusively first person. And I think in iRacing, that's all you can be. So that's fine with me, because that's all I want to be. I know this is going to fight me, isn't it? Let's try this. There's one thing. Oh, come on. Let's try this. Let's go out here. No, let's go out here, and let's drop this and see if this makes any difference. That, like so. Push that all the way down. Any better? Yes, fantastic. So I don't do a lot of first person. I will do it when I'm driving for you, but I prefer to be third person. It's easier for me to control, and also, honestly, I like looking at the tractors. I do. It's sort of like a first person shooter versus an over the shoulder, where when you're first person, you don't get to see your gear, you know? If it's the kind of shooter where you built your own character, right? When you're first person, you can't see all the stuff you picked out, all the stuff you bought, all your, you know, clothes and guns and bags and all that stuff. So for me, it's sort of the same way with Farm Sim. I want to see this equipment that we bought. So I do tend to, I just did. That's what I did. Please start the edge first. What? Oh. Hang on. There we go. Okay, because the extractor is a powered vehicle, even though it doesn't have a cockpit, you can get in it and drive it. It was seeing us as being in there rather than in the Valtra. Okay, no problem. So yeah, I do tend to stay third person. And now where we are when we're third person, that's what I want to ask you about, because we can be like out here. You know, that's a little bit ridiculous, but it does give you kind of a big picture, like as far as what we're doing. Or we can be a little bit more in here, which is, you obviously see a lot less, but what you do see, you see a lot more clearly. So, you know what I mean? Something to think about. Let me know how you feel about that, because I'm sort of indifferent. Drop that. And we need to grab our animal trailer because we're going to go buy some dairy cows. Don't need those. Do need those. So we're going to drive for a minute, and you know what? Before we do, let me show you on the map what we bought. Right. Set the brake. If we go here, and we go here, right? So this is right up here. This is our farm that we started with when we began the map, and then we bought field 30. But we own these fields out here. We own this one and this one. We bought this dairy farm right here. In fact, I'll show you. So when we started, we owned this, and I bought field 30, and then I just bought this. Now this map is all grass. It really is. It's just an unbelievable amount of grass. So I harvested all this. I harvested all this. I'm just doing that over and over. I'm spamming. I'm farming. And go back there. There you go. It's really good. It's so different. It's so different than I think any other farm that I've ever played. And these are the things that I wanted to kind of go through with you, like line by line as we're driving. This map does not have a BGA. And I think it's got to be one of the first maps that I've ever played that doesn't have a BGA. And when I realized that, I thought to myself, surely there have been other maps that didn't have a BGA. Of course there were, but I couldn't name one offhand. So yeah, I know that is a thing. I know some map makers do not put a BGA on their map, and that's totally cool. But I really like that there's no BGA. Now, in our first episode, we had a Shootmaker forage wagon, and I sold that. I sold it because I knew we weren't going to need it straight away because we were just going to be working with grass and bales, and we would have no reason to gather up grass, right? But then I realized we would really have no reason to gather up grass because there's no BGA to take it to. And then I looked a little bit more. I don't see any bunkers on this map. Not even on the dairy farms. Now, I can look again. I will look again. We'll find them if they're there, but I don't see them. And what that tells me is that this map is sort of, you're committed to bales. And that's a really different approach. It really is. I mean, we can place a bunker. We can buy a bunker, right? And place it somewhere in a flat area. That's cool. But all we would use that for then is silage for food, because there's literally no hopper to sell it, and you can't sell loose silage at the barn where we're selling our silage bales. So, very different approach. There are also no pigs on the map. Now again, same thing. You can buy your own pigsty if you want and have pigs. I personally don't like pigs. It's very difficult for me to make money with them, and honestly, I don't really understand what they're for. I feel like they are as much a fertilizer generator than they are a profit-making, I don't know, item. But I've never really been able to be profitable with pigs, and I've really never even felt like I got enough fertilizer out of them that it was at least cost-effective. No pigs on this map, which is fine with me. But again, that's different. I feel like a lot of map makers, like there's a list, right? These are all the things that will be on my map. I'll have arable fields. I'll have some grass areas. And then if I do have farms already in place, I'll have a dairy farm. I'll have a sheep pasture. I'll have pigs, chickens, maybe. And I will definitely have a BGA. Well, not so in this case. And it's really, to me, that is, I mean, I don't want to sound like too grandiose when I'm talking about this map. Obviously, I like it. I'm a big fan. I don't want to sound too, I don't want to go all fanboy on the map. Be like, oh, well, this map. But to me, that is really, it's innovative. And it's also confident. A person has a vision of what they want their map to look like. And it does not have a BGA, right? And it does not have pigs. And that's how they build it. I love it. I don't have enough good things to say about this map. And I will tell you, there is a serious hotspot in the middle of the map. We are dropping down sometimes into the low 20s as far as FPS. And I am baffled by that because I don't remember it being that way the first time we played through it. So what I'm going to do is start another map off camera with no mods, with nothing, and see if that same hotspot is there. I don't know. I don't know. And I am, we'll see. I hope it's not like a permanent thing because I really love this map and I intend to be playing it for a long, long time. So we'll see how that goes. Like right there, we just dropped down pretty good. I think it could be the trees, but I don't know. I just don't remember seeing it first time around, you know. You can barely see it, but I did go through these. The vehicles that I have had a variety of registrations and tags on them. I did go through. That's how serious I am about this map. I went through and found like the Barbarian registration, the Barbarian plate, and I recreated Barbarian registration for all the vehicles. It's got the little, let me see how close in we can get. Oh yeah, it's got the little seal in there. It's got the whole deal. I am definitely serious about this map and I want to play it for a while. So that seemed like a reasonable thing to do. It didn't take long. It took 20 minutes to do half a dozen of them. You know, as you do. Right. The other thing I did some research on was what kind of cows there are in this part of the world. And what I came up with was the Simmental, Simmental, Simmental. I'm not sure what the pronunciation is in German. And then the other is the Swiss Brown. So, I mean, we're going to do our best when we get here to the animal dealer. We're going to try to be mindful of that and get some good, authentic Bavarian cows. But I can't promise that it's going to be 100%. And making that turn, I was getting ready to throw my turn signal on, and I could not do it in time. So we did make that turn unsignaled, and I do apologize. Right. We're going to get turned around here. We're going to get backed up. I love this map. I really, really do. Wow. Could not be happier with it. Now, I have seen, I don't know how many of the models on this map were made for this map, how many of them are ported over, bought, borrowed, you know, inherited. I don't know. And I'm okay with any of those scenarios. So we're going to lower that. In gear, we're going to set the brake. Let's buy some animals. Right. So the Holstein is something that you'll see, and then the Holstein, from what I read, the Holstein is up further north in Germany, not this far south. Could we have this act as a Swiss Brown? Oh man, did I say Swedish before? I hope I didn't. I think I said Swiss Brown, yeah. Oh man, I do not, in real life, I do not mix up Sweden and Switzerland. But sometimes when I'm talking and driving, I may. You know what I'm saying? So these are going to be our surrogates for Swiss Browns. And they're pretty brown. I mean, they're pretty and they're brown. That's just going to have to be what we go with. So, and I'm trying to think, was there anything else? There's some sort of innovative placements for some of the triggers, and I like it. It's taken a little getting used to. And I also, and again, this is, you know, I don't want to go on and on about this map. Let's just play it. But I also, like we're going to find out in a minute here, the triggers for food for these cows that we just bought, the triggers are in the barn, but the cows themselves are going to be out in a pasture that is like one pasture separated away from the barn. And I guess, I mean, as long as they're linked in the code, you know, I guess you're good to go. But that's still, you know, you typically see, when there are animals on a map, you typically see them, I don't want to say physically connected to, but sort of almost geographically connected to where their food is and various other things. You know what I mean? I don't know if I have ever seen animals that are that far separated from what you could call like their barn. And I know it's all just you know, you designate an area, you link it here, you do this. I know about Giants Editor. Oh yeah, look at that frame rate dropping off. I don't recall that happening the first time I drove up over here. Yeah, we're barely hitting 20 FPS. So I'm going to do my very best to sort out the cause of that and deal with it, because I don't want to post 20 FPS videos, but I also will not let this map go. It's too good. It's too good. We're going over here. Let's pull in right here momentarily to get off the highway so we don't get rear-ended. So I believe I'm just going to tap the button to confirm, but we're not going to buy anything. I'm just making sure we found the right trigger. Yep, that's the right place. So if we open this gate, sure do, and then we're going to back around and get these, I guess these would be ladies. We'll get these ladies dropped off. So let's pull forward a little bit, get some work lights on. I'm going to turn it around, and then I'm going to pull forward again and then back it through the gate. Oh, got caught on something there. And I don't think we own this field that we're sort of bumping up against. We own everything to the left. We do not own this one on the right. So let's try to be good neighbors. Right. Back it in here. Right about like so. Set the brake. We're going to lower. We're going to take the cover off. And we're going to unload. We want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Confirm. And there they are. Fantastic. So turn the work lights off. We're going to lift. Put the cover back on. And how do we want to do this? Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. Actually, set the brake. Now let's do this. We're going to close this gate. All right. We're going to take this trailer back, and we're going to pick up our water bowser. We're going to water the sheep before we leave that yard. Then we're going to refill. Come down here, water the sheep, and then we're going to drop a couple bales in our Anderson food mixer that I got, Mr. Anderson, and get these cows fed. I dropped a straw bale. I bought straw bales, and I dropped a straw bale into the straw trigger to confirm that it was working. So the cows do have some straw to start with. They do not have any water at all, and they do not have any food at all. So we will get that taken care of momentarily. I think they'll be okay for just a few minutes. I get, like, my OCD kicks in, and I think, man, I would never bring living animals to a place where there was no food and no water. I would just feel too, like the margin is just too narrow at that point, you know? Like, what if something happened to the food that was scheduled to be delivered? How would we feed them? I would rather have the food there first and then buy the animals, or if the food does not show up, you can always cancel the animals. Say, you know, hang on to those gangsters for a minute till the food arrives. And I know it's just a game, but you know, I get immersed, man. I really do. This game, it pulls me in. I thought about buying this farm right here, and the reason I did not is because it's a little too close. It's like really just kind of one big field over from our farm, and I would rather have a little bit more reason to travel back and forth on the map. Yeah, I prefer that. But we will, I believe we will buy this in time. Oh, I mean, I guess it ties in with what we were talking about earlier about, you know, some of the really different approaches that this map maker has taken. But I realized that I mean, we can plow any of these fields into arable, but I realized that we have no need for arable crops. We could make an argument that, well, you need straw, so you gotta harvest wheat or barley. But when I think about the expense that is involved in doing that, I mean, we don't own an arable field at the moment, so we would need to, at the very least, rent a subsoiler and plow subsoil one of our grass fields into an arable field. Okay. Then we would need to it would make sense for us to fertilize it. I guess we could do that with our Shootmaker pasture injector. Get some slurry on there. Okay. But then we would need to seed it. We would rent a seeder, and then we would need to harvest it, right? So we would need to rent a combine harvester, or we just buy some bales for a few €1,000. And I feel like the grass that we get out of a field and what we're able to do with it and the money that we make from it far exceeds the expense that we would incur growing some wheat just to get a few straw bales. So I think in the future we will always buy straw bales whenever possible, because it's just not worth it to do it any other way. And what that means is, I think, again, one of the first times ever that I've played Farm Simulator, we have no need to own a combine harvester or a drill or a seeder or a planter or a plow, a subsoiler, cultivator, nothing. We don't even need to own a tipper. We really don't, because, again, we won't have any loose silage because we've got no bunkers. Right there, right about like so. And let's do our sheep first. If we can get this thing, if I can't get the angle, I'll just, back it in. Just slid right by there. Right, let's get it right back up about here. Beautiful. We're gonna take this over and fill it at our little water tank. Yeah, we'll call that a water tank. Take it up and fill it over there. This will be the first time I think I've filled it there. Yeah. And you can see, again, it's getting a little lighter. You can see I kind of dotted around the yard. I just used some of the paint tools to kind of roughen up the yard a little bit. Just get rid of straight lines, try to make it look more sort of organic and flowing. Not organic like granola, you know what I mean? But organic like things just happen in real life, you know? There aren't that many straight lines in nature and in real life. So it was fun to go through and sort of mess with that now that it's working a little better. But I did, like I said, I backed up. Oh man. Right, set the brake. Took me a minute to figure out that to fill this thing, you have to open it. It's a nice little detail. So before I did anything as far as placing, I backed up my save game. Well, I saved the game, I quit, and then I backed up my save game. I made a copy of it and put it on the desktop, right? Got it out of the... There we go. Got it out of the Farm Sim folder in my docs, right? Then I furthermore put a copy on one of my internal SSD drives. Then I furthermore put a copy on one of my external SSD drives. And then I put a copy on the cloud. Because, like I said, I want to make a long-term commitment to this map. Not just for the channel, but for me personally. This is a map that I definitely want to spend a lot of time on. And the idea that in trying to place an item, you essentially like destroy your save game, you destroy your map, and there's no way to undo it. You know, I need to be able to, anybody does, not just me, anybody who's into this game, you need to be able to, if you make a mistake with a placeable or with terrain sculpting, you really need to be able to go back in and get back to a save game that predates that mistake, because the idea of either, you know, throwing that save game away because you've essentially ruined it, or continuing to play on a map that's all, you know, jibber jabber and just really not working for you, that's not, you know, that's not cool. Shouldn't have to be that way. So, yep, that's about all I've got to tell you about this map, other than to again say it's just so good. It really, really is. It's got fantastic balance. It's got so many things that are forcing me to kind of think. You know, I've been, in the absence of seasons, I've been really trying to avoid what I call painting fields, right? You know what I'm talking about. You just paint fields. You paint fields, and if you can get over the hump on money, and you're not a complete lunatic when it comes to buying equipment, at a certain point, the map just begins making you money. It just makes you money faster than you can spend it. And then you just buy whatever equipment you prefer and you go out and paint fields. You know, this is not that. This is really making me think, and I'm enjoying that. In fact, the last thing that we'll do when we feed the dairy cows that we just bought, when I can show you what we did to get some silage down on this farm. These farms have names, and I promise you off camera I will go ahead and commit those to memory so that I'm not just calling it the sheep farm and our new dairy farm. They actually have names, but come on, Voucher. There you go. There you go. You got it. But I also understand that our sheep farm is, you know, we're baling up there. We're baling and wrapping and selling individual silage bales. And down here at the dairy farm, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I mean, you can guess. If it's not baling and it's silage and it doesn't have a clamp, then it's got to involve the extractor. So we'll see that in a minute. In fact, you can sort of see it there at the top of the screen. But I think I may have figured out what the extractor is, like what it does, what it's for, how it's supposed to work. We'll see. We'll see in a minute. But yeah, I'm just kind of tiptoeing around here. Now, I also swapped out, we had the Lely Splendimo mowers, front mower and butterfly mower, and I actually sold those, and I got Pottinger, I got a front mower, and then I got a single swing, a single side rear mower. And I did that for a specific reason. The Lely combo that we had required about 260 horsepower, and this Valtra and our Deutz-Fahr Warrior are both more than capable of running those two mowers. But I'm also mindful of the fact that these two tractors are conceivably a little too big for this map. So by going to the single swing in the rear and with the front, it takes the horsepower requirements down to about 150. And what that means is we could decide at some point to trade to a smaller mower for both farms, for either farm. And gate. We could trade to a smaller tractor. Man, I hope I'm not like misspeaking a bunch of words today. I hate that when I hear a word on a replay that I just like totally blew through it and said the wrong word. Like I said Swedish brown instead of Swiss brown. I don't think I did. But God, what if I did? So yeah, at this point, because we have lower horsepower requirements for the mowers, we could conceivably go to smaller tractors at both farms, at either farm, and maybe not have the... I'm reluctant to say this is oversized equipment. If it is oversized, it's marginally oversized. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like a New Holland T9 Smart Track or something. It's not grossly oversized, but it's perhaps a little too big. So by taking the horsepower requirements down for our implements, we open up the possibility of trading down to smaller equipment in the future and being extremely appropriate on this map as far as the realism of our equipment. We'll see. We'll see. Now, I know in FS17, just before 19 dropped, there was an addition, there was a mod that essentially allowed animals to eat grass that is in the pasture. Very cool. I like that. I don't know if that's made it to FS19. I know the day one release, I think, was bugged out because I placed a sheep pasture and it's like I never needed to add food. They always had enough to eat. And I was curious if that meant they were eating the grass that I had placed them in, or if the game was just bugged out. Turns out, I suspect, the game was just bugged out. So I don't think they nerfed that because it was not something that needed to be nerfed. It was something that needed to be fixed. And it is my understanding that they fixed it. However, I don't know if anybody has brought that FS17 pasture grass mod into FS19. in a way that allows animals to at least not starve. We'll go ahead and pull this around. I don't think you would do this. I'm trying to think where to put this now. Well, now I'm just trying to turn around. Okay, here we go. I don't think you would leave a water tanker. Pretty heavy trailer. I don't think you would leave that just parked in a field. Right. So now we're going to go down here and hook this thing up to our feed mixer. I got a bale shredder. Honestly, I don't even think we can use it because the trigger is the trigger for straw bales. There we go. Right about there. The trigger for straw bales is so generous, I really don't even know if you could put shredded straw into it, if that makes sense. I think I might, yeah. Right, and so this is the last tractor that we got. This is a Fendt 300, and another mod, it does have dynamic hose up front, so I looked around and found some Stoll. Oh, you heard, on the other farm, that Stoll front loader is dynamic hose rigged, dynamic hose set up. So we are going to drop our front weight. Where's a good place to drop it? How about right here? We're going to drop our front weight. No, we should be okay. Picking up one bale at a time, we'll be fine. So we're going to go in here. Yeah, did you see the frame rate just pick up? We're right back at a solid 60. It's I'm going to find the answer. I promise I will. But in the meantime, I know it's a little bit hit or miss. But I'm aware of it, and I'm on it. So, as you may have seen, right around the back here, I brought the extractor down, and I wrapped up 40 bales. Now, I think we're probably going to end up selling about 20 or 25 of these. Right? And we're going to start with 2 into the feed mixer. Because I think with 6 cows, I don't know if we'll even be able to empty. I mean, I don't think we're going to fill the feed mixer 100%, but even what we do put in there, which is going to be a total of 5 bales, I don't think it's going to fit it all in the trough. Let go. Let go. Let go. There it is. I don't think it's going to take it all, is what I'm saying. So I think we'll get an idea very quickly of how much food we need for 6 cows, particularly if the map maker has adjusted it so that the animals need less food. So we'll be able to take, I'm hoping 20 or 25 of those down and sell and make even more money. Right. Come on. Come on. Get in there. Get in there. Oh, come on, bale physics. I can see it getting closer to the end of the tines. Oh, game. Oh, how I love you. There we go. So, get that in there. And then I guess that one we could have gone straight in on the end too. We didn't have to go in from the side. Make more sense to go in this way. And like so. Ram our spikes into the ground. That's no good. All right. Like so. And I typically do 2 silage, 2 hay, 1 straw. And that gives us the TMR percentage without a ton of waste. And as I'm looking at my little meter over there on the side, my vehicle inspect, no perspective. As I'm looking at that, there we go, scraped off there. We're now at 34%, and what that tells me is approximately 6 bales will fill this thing. We're now going to put in 2 hay bales, and then that should leave 1 straw bale to top it off. It'll give us the right percentage, and it won't be full. It'll be what is that, about 90%? 2 of those. Now we could do 2 straw bales, but what it'll do is just sort of eat the difference. Forward, I said. There you go. It'll just eat the difference. You know, if you have 1,000 capacity left in a mixer and you put in a 4,000 liter bale, the 3,000 extra, for lack of a better word, essentially just disappears. Now it's calling that TMR. We're going to put in 1 straw bale just to bulk it up a little bit, save us some money, as we do. And as I said earlier, I did buy these bales. We have no arable land. Right. In there. Right in there. Come on. This is tricky. I don't think... no. Oh, I got too frisky. Did you see what just happened? I know you did. Yeah, I got too frisky and didn't wait for it to drop all the way in. Right, so. And now we got problems because it's too low on the tines. Oh. Barely. There we go. Got it. Okay. So let's get this parked up and put away. We'll see if we can find the food trigger. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. This map does come with instructions, which is fantastic. So it's nice to go in and, you know, if you have a question, you can just go into the manual and find the farm that you have the question about and then find out where whatever it is that you're missing. Fact. While we're in close. And there's the dynamic hose. You can see center of the screen. No. There it is. Disconnected. And then connected. Right. Carefully back up. Grab our weight. Get this thing parked up. Right, like so. Set the brake. Lights off. Engine off. And our food is going to go right in here. So let's see. Get this thing turned around. We may need to open a dialog box as far as what side we want it to dump on. Yeah, let's do that. Dialog box. Well, we'll turn it on first, for sure. Get a little blend going. Tip side left, tip side right. I was going to back in. In fact, I think I need to turn around. I feel like that's just not quite enough room to get it from that side with that, the way the building sort of pokes out. But I feel like I can get it from this side. Back it in. Right. Which is going to make our tip side the right. There we go. That's what I needed. So now we can turn that off, get back into our immersion. And I think, if I read the instructions right, I think it's just going to be right under here. And there it is. Fantastic. All right. So we got 20,000 liters. Let's see how much they take, and I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Okay. Taking quite a bit. But I'm curious how full it's going to be, because I know in the past, 6 dairy cows, 20,000 liters would be, it wouldn't even come up out of the red. It would be, you know what I mean? So let's see where we at. Cows right there. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh, but it says it got no straw. You want to do that on camera? Let's do it on camera. Let's do it. We're going to go forward. And in fact, no, we can't do that. Okay, never mind. We're going to do what we're going to do. We're not going to do the other thing that we're not going to do. Right, so we can certainly turn that off now. This is turning into a bit of a long episode. Straighten her out. Straighten her out. Can't cut corners if you think there are Germans watching. Right. So, let's get these off a little bit. And... you know what? Let's just go ahead and hook this back up because we're going to take it back to, I believe that farm is called the Boerhof. That farm up on the north part of the map. So let's get this hooked up. So it goes. Put her in gear, set the brake, lights off, engine off. Fantastic. Oh, look at that. Is that a screenshot? It might be. It might be. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Beautiful. What do we need to do? We need to hop back in here. I'm curious why that is showing no straw at all, and I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that I put that straw in before I owned any dairy cows at all. You know? Curious. Curious. Okay. So we come back over here, and there we are, right back to 60 FPS. I gotta find that hotspot. I'll track it down. You know I will. You know I will. Right. And we're gonna back up here. Forward again. Grab us a straw bale, and the trigger is... it's just right there. You'll see it momentarily. So, get that nice and square. Right about like so. Right in there. Beautiful. It's been a nice video with the sun coming up. I've really enjoyed making this one. I hope you like it. I hope it turned out okay for you. So this is our straw trigger. Right there. Come on. Come on. Drop, damn it. Come on. Oh, really? No, all right. Bobette. Try this. Looks like a straw trigger to me. What's going on here? All right, we're getting to the bottom of things. We're learning together. Learning. Now, why would that not take that? No. There we go. I don't know why that would, Huh. It says... no straw at all. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. You can also feed your cows wheat and barley. Interesting. Okay, I mean, how much more time do you want to put into this? A little bit. A little bit of time. So it's not there, but it's not there. I wonder if I broke something. I wonder if I did. I wonder if I broke something by putting a straw bale in there before I had any animals. Curious. Curious. And this is most definitely out of the... This isn't messing anything up. Yeah, that weight is far enough outside. I mean, let's try it one time with the markers on. Maybe I'm just not getting it far enough over. There it is. Beautiful. Now how we doing? Now how we doing? Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, I will, I'll keep working off camera. I'll get some more straw in here for these critters. I'll take care of business, yo. I will take care of business. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is the Holzer map. Check it out on forbiddenmods.com. And I'll see you next time. Take care now.